Emily, the I-94, Emily, I get so many calls. And I know you get the calls too. Let's say, for example, I come in from India with a H-1B and that is expiring in September of 2023. And my company has paid you money to file the H-1B extension. And you gave me the H-1B approval. And a lot of people are telling me that if the I-94 is not extended, I am illegal. Today, I found out, Emily, even though my company has paid you the money to get the H-1B approval, I see the online status that says it's still expiring September 2023. You did a mistake by not extending the I-94. Is that right?
No, thankfully, no. And you have to remember that I-94s are actually issued by two separate agencies. So the one that you get online is CBP. That's anything related to the port of entry when you're traveling into the country. The one you get when you file your extension, that's USCIS. They are separate agencies, and while they do somewhat talk to each other, the USCIS I-94 does not date the CBP I-94. So as long as you have an extended I-94 on your I-797 approval notice, that's your new status. You're extended properly. There's nothing that's going to change online until you travel again. The only time the online I-94 changes is when you travel. Now, advanced parole, how exactly does that work? Because I have this advanced parole document, especially when it's not on my EAD card. It's a separate document. It's got my picture down at the bottom, and in tiny print, it says when the expiration date of the advanced parole is. I travel in, and I get a completely different date on my online I-94, and they actually handwrite a different date on my document. And that's usually for 1 year. So if I'm being let in for 1 year on that online I-94, does that mean I need to file an extension after 1 year to be able to stay legally in the country?
Big mistake, Emily. There are a lot of people who are doing mistake. Your advance parole expires when it says it expires on the advance parole, not on the I-94, what it says. I've seen people who have got an advance parole, which, let's say, for example, it's expiring in September of 2023. They traveled somewhere in July of 2023. The online I-94 said the advance parole expires in July of 2024. They came into the United States and they let the advance parole expire because on the online it says July 2024. They left to India because they thought the online I-94 is the valid advance parole expiration. They were trying to come back. They were being deported, Emily, because they don't have a valid advance parole. Their advance parole expired in September of 2023. Now in January of 2024, they are trying to come back. They were being sent back to their home country. That's a big no-no. Whenever it's an advance parole, now this is only for advance parole, guys, not the other people. The expiration of your advance parole is on your document, not in the cloud. Well, you know, now people call internet and everything in the cloud, is that right? Not in the cloud. It is in your document. Your document tells you when the advance parole expires. That is what you're supposed to have it, not on that. You know, there are also people, Emily, have you seen that now from October of 2023, we are seeing people getting 5 years advance paroles, and they come and whine at me. So, Rahul, my I-94 advance parole is expiring in 1 year. My actual advance parole is expiring in 5 years. Which one is valid? The one that you have in the hand is valid. So please, in these two scenarios, though, where you file I-797 extension for H-1B, H-4, L-1, L-2, it's the document I-797. That is after you entered into the United States. The I-797 expiration, as Emily pointed out, is the expiration date. When it comes to the advance parole, it is the document that says when it is expires. It's not the I-94 that is online. Now, Emily, moving to the second topic, though, there is very dangerous topic that we see the I-94 problems there. I have my I-797, I'm working with company A, and that company A's stamping is expiring in September of 2023. I joined a new company in January of 2023 company B, and I got the H-1B approval until January of 2026. I traveled in July of 2023 using you told me, and a lot of other lawyers, nice, good lawyers, told that I can travel even though I changed from company A to company B. I can travel on company A's passport visa. You told, and your team told, and there are a lot of other lawyers told that I can travel that. I traveled outside the country. I'm here right now, and I see the I-94 expiring in September of 2023. I came in July of 2023. My I-94 expiring September 2023. Am I in danger?
Yes. Yes. When you're entering, you need to show both your visa stamp and your passport with the old company name on it and your new I-797 approval notice with company B that has the extended I-94 on it, and make sure that they give you the end date that matches your new company's I-797, not the visa stamp on your passport. So they're supposed to give you the full period of time that is on your I-797, not what's on your visa stamp. If they don't, and they give you the shortened date, that is an error. And in this situation, it would be an error. However, if you don't notice it until after it expires, you are out of status and you are unlawfully present. Do not go to CBP to ask them to correct it at this point, because they will deport you, because they're going to say you overstayed. You're not here lawfully. So be very careful. Talk to a lawyer to figure out the right way to fix that situation. But the most important thing is anytime you travel and come back in, when you're a non-immigrant, check your online I-94. Make sure you know what that date is. So if they do give you that shortened date, you can correct it before it expires, because there's lots of options when it's before it expires, but after it expires, there's a big danger there.
Emily, here one other scenario. My passport visa stamping is expiring in January of 2025. I came into United States in July of 2023. My passport, not the passport stamping, passport is expiring in September of 2023. But my passport visa with company A, and I never changed any company. I'm still staying with the same company that I came in, but I traveled in July of 2023. I came back, but I got and they did not give an I-94 until January of 2026, until when my visa stamping is expiring, but they gave only until September of 2023, because they looked into my passport, not my passport visa, and they gave it. Am I in danger right now?
Yes, that's also a big problem. And the scary thing is they don't tell you that they're doing that. They don't say, oh, hey, I see your passport's expiring before your visa, so I'm limiting your I-94. They don't tell you, they just do it. So again, when you come into the US, always check your online I-94 the first thing so you know what that is. And that is their policy. When your passport is expiring before your visa or before your I-797, they will cut short your I-94. That becomes your new end date, even though you have this other document that has a longer validity. So you do need to take action before the new end date expires. There are lots of options there. Once you get your passport renewed, you could travel again, come back in, and now you'll get the full validity period. Or if you don't have the option to travel for whatever reason is going on with work or family, your company could file an extension so that you don't miss that end date, but you do need to be very careful about that.
Emily, remember, my I-94 expired in September 2023. We are in February of 2023. Can we file the extension right now, or what's the solution?
Yeah, so there's a big problem there, because when you overstay your I-94, you are out of status and you are accruing unlawful presence. So the only time you can now file an extension or even a change of status, filing anything with USCIS after your stay is already expired and you are out of status and unlawfully present, you basically have to make a nunc-pro-tunc request. This is saying, due to extraordinary circumstances, I did not file this on time. I'm asking you to use your discretion to overlook my delay in filing and put me back in status. So then it becomes very case by case specific, depending on the facts of your particular case. It needs to be well explained, well thought out, and there's no guarantee that it will work. It is their discretion. And if they use their discretion not to do it, you have no recourse. You can't file an appeal of that. You can't file a motion to reopen. And then you're stuck with exiting the country to try to get back into status. But you have to watch the 180-day clock, because if you have overstayed for 180 days or more, when you exit to try to fix it, you're triggering a 3-year bar. You have to wait for 3 years before you can apply for a new visa to come back, unless you qualify for some sort of waiver. If you've stayed for more than a year in that situation, and then you leave, now it's a 10-year bar unless you qualify for a waiver. So it is very, very risky. Anytime your I-94 expires, make sure you talk with a qualified immigration attorney to understand your options, and make sure you consider that 180-day clock. Because if you have not reached 180 days yet, it may be better for you to exit, get a new visa, and come back in, versus trying the nunk-pro-tunk option and going over 180 days while you're waiting for it to come through.
One thing that I would tell people is that if your I-94 has expired in these two scenarios, though, do not contact the company lawyer, because the companies may tell you, we don't want to deal with you, we let you go. Try to contact an outside lawyer. There are some solutions. Without filing with the USCIS, it should be spoken out one-to-one. There are some solutions. There are nice lawyers out there that can create solutions, but do not contact the company lawyer, though, before you speak with a separate independent lawyer. And as Emily has pointed out, do not walk into the CBP. They may detain you and send you to India after detaining for maybe a couple of days in the jail. So these two things, don't do it. First, have a private lawyer consult, and then have for the solution.